birthday coming up here in just a few days. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Congressional Prayer Conference of Washington, D.C. and Crusade Radio. Now, if you would like to join us, there's several ways to do it. Number one, you simply pick up your phone and call us on 712-432-1690. And once you call that number, then you will be on the line and it'll ask you for your access code. Put in your access code, 399-430-pound. 399-430-pound. Now, if you call that number and put in that access code, you'll be on the communication line with us. We call the communication line the CCC. That is Congressional Communications Channel. And that is open right now. We opened it several times earlier today. At 8 a.m. today, Washington, D.C. time, we opened the prayer line, this communications channel, and prayed because we had a special urgent prayer meeting. And then later at 12 noon today, at high noon in our nation's capital, we had a celebration of emergency prayer meeting. And now we are on another emergency prayer meeting that we have called tonight during our show, and we're on the air on CrusadeRadio.com as well as on the Congressional Prayer Conference of Washington, D.C., commonly referred to as the Wiley Drake Show. And we would welcome you to call if you'd like to be a part of this particular time together. We would welcome you, ladies and gentlemen. We are indeed in what I call an emergency prayer effort. You see, the question came to mind today, will the ACLU steal Christmas from our brothers and sisters in Christ in Indianapolis, Indiana? Well, there's a media advisory that was put out by the contact person by the name of Tom Ciesielka. And if you'd like to get in touch with Tom, there's several ways to do it. Number one, you can call him on his phone, 312-422-1333. Or you can email Tom at tc@tcpr.net. tc@tcpr.net. That is the public relations line. That is Mr. Ciesielka's line. And we would encourage you to do just that. Call him. Also, there's another gentleman that we're praying with and for because they're doing the hard work. They're doing the work on the battlefield, and we're support. David said to his people, some go out to battle with a sword in their hand, and some stay behind and stay by the stuff. In fact, the matter is, there was a discussion in the Bible about some of the soldiers who said, hey, I'm out on the battlefield. I have a sword in my hand. Yeah, I'm out on the front line. I'm out where it's dangerous. And they were paid military people. But there were some that were not on the firing line. They were not on the battlefield. They were behind the line, and they were getting paid as well. Well, some of them that had a sword in their hand and were in the more dangerous position said, we believe we should be paid more than those that are behind the line, those that are not having to face swords and the battle, even though they're doing a very important work, they should not be paid as well as we are. We should be paid better than they. David said, no, everybody gets paid the same, whether you have a sword in your hand or you're behind the line. If you're behind the line, David said, you're staying by the stuff. That was the English phrase, staying by the stuff. In the Hebrew language, that meant that you were guarding the extra swords, the extra spears, and the food, and the clothing, and the animals that were very necessary for battle. So you stayed by the stuff. And David said, whether you go out to battle with a sword or you stay by the stuff, you get paid the same. The same thing is true today. Now, Brother Jaime Gillian is our executive producer. I'm the talk show host. I'm the pastor. I'm the rabbi. But we all get paid the same by God. God pays us all, and we're all paid the same. Whether we run the camera or I'm on the camera or we stay by the stuff, we all get paid the same. And as many of you know, this all is a labor of love. And if you'd like to be a part of this ministry, you can make a donation to our church and Synagogue Fellowship of Messianic Believers, and we'll be more than happy to receive your gift. We received today a gift, for example, some equipment, some big boxes of exhaust fans and that kind of thing. And they came in, and we have them stored here in the building now. Later, that is a gift that a man who wants to help us with our building. We need exhaust fans. That will help our refrigerators run better and longer because the exhaust fans will keep them cooler and it'll keep the smoke out and so forth. And so that was a gift to our church, and we're staying by the stuff. We're going to protect it so that it doesn't get stolen and so forth. But we all are doing the work together, and we're all staying by the stuff. We had a lady come by here earlier today and said that she had donated to her a lot of yarn, you know, those big bundles of yarn, and she is a knitter. Her name is Joanne. And Joanne said, I want to help the homeless people. And so Joanne now for months has been knitting hats, knitting caps for the homeless. Now someone may say, well, I don't want to wear that kind of knitted cap. I'm a big macho guy kind of thing. But the caps are there for the homeless people that do want to wear them. And even more important, they're very functional because we do not have heat in the dormitory, and one of those knitted caps will come in handy on a cold evening or an early cold morning. So Joanne dropped those off. We'll be donating those to the homeless people as she asked us to. She also gave us one particular bag or package that had children written on it, and those are small ones for the little folks, the little children, and so we'll be donating that. And so Joanne is staying by the stuff. And those men, Brother West, that brought in those blowers and those vents and that information that they're going to be using to better our building, to make it more efficient and so forth, they're also staying by the stuff. Brother Jaime Gillian is by the stuff tonight, keeping the cameras on target, keeping me on the air, and I'm staying by the stuff to do what God leads me to do, and that's to share with you, we have an emergency prayer need. Tom Siselka and Peter Breen of the Thomas More Society are indeed staying by the stuff. Here's what happened. Thomas More Society and their attorneys will assist as PROHOC, or PROHOC means in defending Franklin Council, but that means they're invited in from another area. But this case, ladies and gentlemen, is over a situation where the ACLU and an organization called FFRF, and that is Freedom from Religion Foundation, and we are against them as well as the ACLU, but they have brought a lawsuit against the county over a privately sponsored nativity scene. The nativity scene, as you know, is about Jesus, and it is religious. It is spiritual. But it is on a piece of property there that the Franklin County Commissioners have approved. In fact, they approve requests for displays at all times. different events in front of the courthouse from different groups throughout the year, including a child abuse awareness group, a garden club, private citizens who sponsor and set up a nativity scene every year. And these are all done on government property, but property that is designated for public display and public use. And these public people, these Christians, got their permit and installed a nativity scene to share about the love of God for the world by bringing Jesus in the world. And the nativity scene represents that. But Franklin County Commissioners approved that request, and Thomas More Society is going to be arguing against the ACLU and the FFRF's attempt to force removal. They're saying you've got to remove that from public property. No, they have a right to be there. They have a right, not only as a garden club, not only as a pro-life group, but as a Christian group. They have a right to make a display there on that particular portion of the property. They can't put it anywhere they want to. They have to put it on that particular spot. And it is indeed armored with the full protection of the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. And if you'd like to schedule an interview with Mr. Peter Breen, he is one of the attorneys that's fighting for the Lord Jesus Christ and the Thomas More Society. You can contact Tom Ciesielka, and I told you before his email is tc@tcpr.net. tc@tcpr.net. Or you can contact Peter Breen at his telephone number. His telephone number is 630-403-5963, and we would encourage you to call them and let them know that you're praying for them. Is there anyone on the line with us at this point? All right, no one has joined us. I hope some other folks will join us for prayer. I'm going to try to call one of my dear prayer warriors up in Virginia and then see if I can get her on the line with us. She is a very faithful prayer warrior, and I want to see if we can get her on the prayer line with us. And if we can, we'll have her pray for the Thomas More Society. Donna Matz is up in Virginia, probably at another prayer meeting right now, and that's why we're not getting through to her. Donna, this is Pastor Wiley Drake, the chairman of the Congressional Prayer Conference, and we're in our urgent prayer meeting, and we were hoping to be able to communicate with you, and we are communicating with you, but it's one way. If you get an opportunity, call us on the prayer line. We'll be on the prayer line for another about 40 or so minutes, and it is now 8:18 there in Lynchburg. And we thank you for your faithfulness to prayer. We are praying for the Thomas More Society. We are praying for Mr. Peter Breen and Tom Ciesielka. And we're praying with them and for them as they fight for our constitutional rights to have a nativity scene in Indianapolis, Indiana. And we encourage you to pray for them. God bless you, and bye-bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to call us, we have a phone number especially set up for this prayer line and for this communications channel. The communications channel